Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our preview of Bowl Season Part 2, Too Bowl, Too Furious. That's what I'm calling it now. It's official.
Forget it, cuz.
You know, I've actually never seen a Fast and the Furious movie.
I haven't either.
Oh, come on.
I don't think I have either, actually.
I've never seen a single one.
All three of you haven't?
Yeah, no, I've never actually seen one. I feel like I should, though. 'Cause I've told good things.
I feel
I
like
had
I've
I
seen
had a
like
friend in
a clip
undergrad.
on cable.
Yeah,
Oh
probably.
my god.
Yeah,
Oh.
I knew someone in undergrad who just had them on, like just always on.
I feel like if I were if I had been in college at the right time, that would have been on like my DVD collection or whatever that equivalent is now. Like I definitely had the college guy DVD collection of I had Fight Club, I had Moulin Rouge, which I guess is more of my kind of guy than
Oh, okay.
the other guys. Boondock Saints, a copy of Animal House, copy of I had what was Monty Python, Holy Grail, you know, the classic guy stuff. I also had the poster of all the ladies' butts, but they're all painted like a Pink Floyd album covers.
The Pink Floyd butts.
Yeah, the Pink Floyd butts. Yeah.
I
For
felt
whatever
like
reason,
that would maybe more of a ladies' dorm thing, but okay.
The Pink Floyd butts? No, it's naked
No.
butts. It's like naked. No, it's naked girl
No.
butts.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought it was so unique because I had my DVD collection that I tailored, and then I had the posters that I liked, and then I found out that every white dude of my age had the exact same collection.
Yeah, your next door neighbor had the same exact stuff.
Yeah, exact same
Right.
thing.
Imagine having DVDs in college.
I know, can't imagine that, right? Imagine having DVDs. Imagine
there are
having
a few on my bookshelf. Not very many, but some.
No, I again, I'm the elder statesman of the committee, so yeah, I had the VHS. I think I had one of those like storage tubs with like nothing but VHS tapes. Then I had the
Yeah.
DVD player. I also had like the giant tube TV, which was like a 13-inch TV, but it was a giant tube.
It also weighed,
And
400 pounds.
It weighed like 130 pounds. I swear. It
Did
was
it have the antenna on the top of it, or was it not that?
Ooh, did it have an antenna?
no antenna.
No, okay,
Oh.
damn. I'm just excited because I want to announce our fundraiser. Last year, we got Nebraska as our team of the year. That's what our voters chose. And we did a fundraiser for a food bank in Nebraska. We raised, how much was it, Commish? A couple thousand?
We got close to, I'd say maybe about 2,000. I think we're at like $1,982
Okay.
in some odd cents. We were close, but again, we were extremely smaller than what we are now. And we could probably introduce everybody else that's on the podcast.
Oh my God,
So that
I'm
may
so
help out.
sorry. Yeah, I'll cut around that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You don't have
Leave
to.
it
Just
in. Leave it in.
God,
Leave
Leave
it
it in. Leave it in, Mr. Mobile.
So with me tonight, as always, Commissioner Escalante, and our guest tonight, we have Pitt Girl, and we have go ahead, Pitt Girl.
I was
Sorry,
just saying hello. I'm sorry.
and our
Hello,
New York representative, Andrew. Andrew, how are you tonight?
I'm very good. I think my official title is going to be Big Ten correspondent.
Okay.
As if the transition of UCLA and USC goes through, I'll have 3 teams in one conference, which is a struggle, but we'll get through it. And 2 of them are major rivals, so we'll get there, I'm sure.
And who are your teams, so that everyone knows?
So my undergrad was at Michigan, my master's was at UCLA, and then now I'm in my PhD and I'm at Ohio State. So that was fun, and it's continuing to be a struggle. So we'll work on that.
Pitt Girl, how are you doing?
I'm good. It is starting to be like actually wintry here. There was ice in the parking lot at work this morning. Keep your head on a swivel. I also drive a Volkswagen, so my car does the thing where it like dings at me when it's below 38ish because it wants me to be careful about ice. And I know this, and I've driven a Volkswagen for years, but every time I'm like, what's wrong with my car? Why is it doing this? And then I remember that it's cold.
Commish, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I think I found a method that has made me quite happy in putting up Christmas lights, besides falling off the ladder. But I've done it piecemeal this year. So I've slowly added Christmas lights instead of doing like one full day of the Christmas lights. I've spent maybe like 30 minutes on every few days and just adding bits and pieces to the lights. Besides almost, falling off a ladder again. It's been working out well. So, I mean, I did like a tree, put some inflatables up, and then, I stuck like the candy cane lights out today. So I'm done. Instead of rushing to get everything done at once and, being sore for, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 days after doing that and climbing up and down ladders and everything. So I feel like I've old man this a little bit
Yeah.
and save myself some struggle. It's worked out well. I mean, it's December 13th. We still have 12 days before Christmas, and I have all my Christmas lights up, and they're going to be easier to take down this year. So I'm happy about that.
Not to get religious again, but Christmas lasts through the Epiphany.
Yeah, I was
so
going to say, do you leave them
get
up that long?
You got to keep
I
them
know-
up through the Epiphany.
I normally probably take them down, I would say. They make them to January 1st every year. I'll say that. Depending on wherever the Epiphany falls, they may come down a day or two in advance.
My mom is super superstitious about having Christmas things up after New Year's. Like, you got to get everything cleared in the house by Jan 1. Because otherwise the new year, like you brought bad energy over from the old year. That's like her one superstition. So we got to clear the whole house, which is weird. I'll go back to what I was talking about before I was interrupted with introductions.
Oh,
Oh no.
Introduction
Why would we
interrupt.
let the listeners know who's talking?
No, we just are just voices in their ears.
well, we have somebody on the podcast for the first time. I figured we
That's
may
the
need
part.
to introduce him. Yeah.
Because Iowa is our Sickos Team of the Year, we are partnering with Community Crisis Services, which is a group out of Iowa City. They do lots of things, but more importantly for us, they have a food bank. And so this year, we are going to sponsor the food bank. We'll post the link in the Twitter. And basically, the way it works is that we'll announce the details. If you donate, one, thank you very much. But two, if you send us your receipt, we'll enter you into a raffle for a special prize. And the more you donate, the more tickets, quote unquote, you will have in the raffle. We still need to figure out the exact numbers. We'll get there.
I think we want to do a minimum donation, X amount, and maybe $5 or $10 minimum donation to enter. And what we did last year, when we were probably about 7 times smaller Twitter account wise, maybe even smaller than that, we raised nearly $2,000 for the Lincoln Food Bank. We bought the official like Sickos guy framed art. We
It's
may
signed,
do
I think,
something,
too.
and we ship that out to the winner. This year we may do something a little bit different, maybe make the prize a little bit bigger. Just it's for a good cause, and we want to do it around Christmas because we feel like this is the most impact that the food bank donations will have, and then also try to have them going through the new year with a lot of impact in the Iowa City area. Since the Iowa Hawkeyes are your Sickos national champions, we wanted to give something back to the city that hosts the Iowa Hawkeyes.
They've
I
been
wanna
through so much with Brian Ferentz. They
I know.
deserve something great.
I want to say that the phone call I made was one of the funniest I've ever made because I called this food bank. I got the contact info. I called right after lunch. I was like, hey, because I never know how to be like, hey, my organization wants to do things. So I always start very vague about these things. But I'm a group of football fans who support unconventional football, and this year we just Iowa was one of our favorites. And she's like, well, that's okay. Iowa's had a bad year. Yes, that's right. I'm glad you guys are chipping in because of that. I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. She's like, oh, we can set up a link for your organization. What's the name of your organization? Well,
Then you really have to
committee.
commit.
Right, we're the Sickos committee. And she's like, can you spell that? Yeah, I can spell that. And I explained it to her that this was voted on and that this is part of our thing, is that we sort of pay attention to sort of the weirdnesses in college football. And apparently her husband is a Hawkeye fan. She goes, well, I appreciate this. I'm not sure he would appreciate this. I was like, well, that's fine. We have lots of Hawkeye fans that really do appreciate this, so we're gonna roll with this. They're very excited.
I can guarantee you that was not the weirdest call that some nonprofit development person has received.
Guarantee you.
Solely because of the John Oliver Ratarotica painting fundraiser giveaway thing.
Mhm.
If anybody watches Last Week Tonight, that was a whole thing, and it did raise a significant amount of money for a couple of organizations in my neck of the woods, which was awesome.
We'll get this started probably the first day of bowl week of bowl season, so that's Friday. And we'll run it probably through the end of bowl season. And we'll let everyone know how it goes. But we plan to give you guys a heads up since you guys are the first ones that'll hear about it. And yeah, this is just something we enjoy doing and giving back to communities that have given us some fun. I hate to start this on a downer. Head coach of Mississippi State, Mike Leach, passed away at the age of 61 last night and kind of shook a lot of us for a lot of reasons. I would have said 61 was a young age if I weren't 38. But now that I'm 38, I'm very much in the brain of, oh my God, 61 is a young age. I hope to still be a salty asshole at 61. A lot of people have said a lot of great things about him already. A lot of people have said a lot of things that are not just, someone help me find better words here of like,
I'm just gonna say this: Mike Leach was extremely complicated as a person.
That's very good.
Whatever type of feelings you have about Mike Leach, it's completely fine to have those. I understand that there's some things in his history you may or may not agree with. I kind of leave this stuff to people who are a little bit more talented than myself to say, and I really feel like this general relevant question came up is just like one of the reporters was asking Mike Leach, when people write the Mike Leach obituary, how do you want to be remembered? And Leach said, well, that's their problem. They're the one writing the obituary. What do I care? I'm dead.
Perfect.
So I've really enjoyed Mike Leach's style of football. I've enjoyed his quotes. So they could rub people the wrong way, and sometimes in dealing with the media, he was not always the best. Was he like a perfect person? I don't think anybody is.
I am, just so we're clear.
Okay, sure. You can say that. I mean, for me, Mike Leach was, the Texas Tech Wazoo days of Mike Leach were ones that I really enjoyed watching football-wise. For me, Mike Leach at Wazoo was the peak Pac-12 after dark age. Sickos football viewing. Anytime Wazoo was playing and Mike Leach was coaching, that was must-see TV. You had no idea what you were going to get, even though he ran the same offense and maybe like the same 5 or 6 plays, so to speak. But
only
maybe
5.
Maybe 2 plays.
Maybe 2 plays. I mean, it's
mesh and 4 vert. What more do you need?
Yeah.
I mean, really, it seemed that way. He's a beloved figure in college football. I mean, I'm going to miss him tremendously. I really loved him, being on the sidelines, the in between, like the game, the halftime interviews, the walking away interviews. You really had no idea what he was going to say, whether he'd give you an impassioned speech on his love for gummy bears or talk about if Sasquatch was real or not, his love for pirates. There's so much that could be said. And I mean, it's a tremendous loss for the college football community. And it hurts. It was rather sudden. It came out of nowhere.
Bill Snyder broke it.
And then unbroke it.
Yeah. I don't know
Did
what
he
happened
delete
there.
the first tweet?
Yeah.
He
He
did.
apologized for it. So, I mean, he may have had some inside information.
Honestly, the
No.
weirdest thing about that whole thing was finding out that Bill Snyder had a Twitter.
Right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not afraid to admit it. I did shed a few tears this morning. So it was very sad news to get. Just hoping for the best of his family, Mississippi State family and the team. I know they're gonna honor him well, and just praying for the best.
Mike Leach leaves a complicated legacy. I certainly didn't agree with everything that he said or that he believed, but you cannot deny his influence on the game. And the much smarter than me and than any of us, Jane Coaston, correctly pointed out that Mike Leach was the college football Twitter head coach. In a lot of ways, the way that he would talk about other stuff, that he clearly had other interests outside of football, that he was funny, felt very much like college football Twitter, and the sport is worse for not having him around anymore, particularly when you consider his influence and the entire air raid How Mummy Tree's influence on the game, both in college and in the NFL and at the high school level. I am obviously not old enough to remember when everybody's offense looked like Iowa's does now, but historians of the game tell me that was much more common before Hal Mummy and Mike Leach started working on this at Kentucky. So it is really, really, really just a big loss. I think we talked a little bit about the quote about him about, someone else is writing the obituary. What does he care? He's dead. I would like to remember Mike Leach via the fact that he was always, always funny, always had something to say, and share one of my favorite Mike Leach quotes, which is as follows. Quote, "I hate golf. It's boring. I don't care where the ball goes. Golf's pretty much for people who don't swear effectively enough or need practice at it. I don't think that I do."
There we go. I think the idea that, Pitt Girl, I think that what you said about it being very college football Twitter like in terms of his other interests is right. The more you guys were saying it, the more I realized one of the reasons I think I liked it was just I liked him as a knowledgeable person about a lot of things, is that he had somebody very interested, he was clearly really interested in, like we all have. We all have our things that we can go just on tangents about because that's our thing. At Wazoo, he held a class called insurgent warfare and football strategy. The best thing about that was to get into the class, it was 2 essay questions, each 200 words only. The first question was, can the British strategy in the Malaya insurgency be used today? And 2, is the wishbone a viable offense for the NFL? Why or why not?
Beautiful. And to jump off on that point, I got a couple of things. He was actually really close friends with the professor that taught that, and I think that this shows you that he cared a lot about a lot of different types of people. He was willing to talk to people no matter who they are, no matter if they had the wrong number, right? That's one of the anecdotes we've been seeing coming out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just talk through a game that I remember watching in his last year at Wazoo. Like I mentioned, I'm a UCLA fan. UCLA was terrible this season, but on September 21st, 2019, and someone mentioned the Pac-12 After Dark craziness with Wazoo being in games on Thursday nights, beating USC, and this one is when UCLA beat Wazoo 63.
I remember this
or
game
67
so clearly.
63.
Yeah,
it was a fever dream. It was like being on drugs. And I'd like to go through 5 facts from the game, if I may, and then we can move on. I guess there were 1,377 total yards of offense. The Wazoo quarterback, I think his first name was Anthony. Yes, Anthony Gordon. He threw 9 touchdowns, and they lost. There were 56 total first downs. Both teams had the same number of rushing yards and the same number of first downs, which is a little trippy. Wazoo had 6 turnovers, which is probably why they lost, even though they scored 63 points. And UCLA had 2 receivers go for over 140 receiving yards. So that's the style of football that he brought us, and I, for one, am grateful, despite a complicated legacy, and he'll be sorely missed by all those who knew him and loved him. And, I think we all covered that kind of thing about the media, that he was like a friend to people because he was so willing to talk about whatever people wanted to talk about. So that made him really human, for good and for bad. So I think we'll all really miss him and his presence and his impact on the game. It's unquestioned.
You talking about that UCLA game just reminds me of Connor Halliday breaking the single game passing record at Wazoo under Mike Leach in a banger, like the peak Pac-12 After Dark game. To me, I've talked about this game on this show before because I watched it on a laptop in my dorm room at Pitt at like 3:00 in the morning Eastern. Connor Halliday threw for 734 yards and lost 60-59 to Cal in 2014.
God,
yeah, there's so many of those kind of games.
Yeah,
I think the Wazoo Cal is the one that everybody talks about. That is like the wildest Pac-12 North. It's not a rivalry necessarily, but just the games are always completely insane.
I wanted to mention that he was head coach for the first time of a team in Finland. So the team that he was head coach for was the Pori Bears. So that's P-O-R-I,
I did know this.
Bears.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get records of this team in 1989. I can't find anything about him coaching this Finland, like, American football team. All I know, in 1989, the champion was the Munka Colts, but it was not the Pori Bears. I don't even have a record for what his record was.
Record? What?
No, I can't find anything on this Mike Leach year in Finland coaching. So he coached.
It looks like all the sources that the Wikipedia page cites for the football team, and it's a stub. All the sources are in Finnish. So, listeners, if you speak Finnish,
we have listeners in Finland. I know that. I just looked today.
Please let us know if you could find a record of the 1989 Pori Bears. I may actually have the wrong champion. There's first divisions there's like tiers of American football in Finland. So I think he was in the first division. I don't know. It could be the Kanomaki Whips that were the champions in 1989. I don't. I am searching and I'm trying to translate this live on the phone.
Yeah, don't even
because I want to know like what his record was in Finland. But I mean, he went to Finland for 1 year to be head coach. So his first head coaching year was his first head coaching year in his career was in Finland. I don't think there's any other coach that has been in college football like that.
Probably the only person to ever lived in Lubbock, Texas, Pullman, Washington, and Starkville, Mississippi in his life. So
and Pori, Finland,
too.
And
Pori, Finland.
In Pori, Finland.
Yeah, he was probably one of the only people in Pori, Finland, but that's a different thing. No offense to Pori. I'm gonna look out.
He was the OC at the linebackers coach at something called College of the Desert.
Yeah,
man, even reading his coaching career.
I'm trying to get the population of Pori, Finland. Here we go. So
it says
population 83,000.
There we go.
So,
and it's
apologies to all 83,000 of you.
If you can find it, please.
Not that you live
please
there.
Somebody
I hope you enjoy it.
If somebody in Finland is listening to this podcast, just at the Sickos committee, if you follow us, and let us know if you. It'd be amazing if we could find like a program from the 1989 Pori Finland Bears.
How do you not know the teams of the Vahalterliga? Vahalterliga.
All right, I'm
Probably
sorry
still
I
better
don't know
than your
that.
pronunciation of Mobile.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we're
get
gonna
closer.
he's just still gonna get roasted about Mobile all the time.
For the rest of his life.
Always.
Continue about the Rely Quest Bowl.
Mississippi State has said they will play in the ReliaQuest Bowl. ReliaQuest Bowl is the Outback Bowl of new. The quote is great. Mike would be pissed if we didn't play. The game is at a stadium with an actual pirate ship in it. That's about it. On some brighter news, University of North Texas has a new coach. He is the
Not
former
Spencer
head
Hall.
coach. Spencer Hall is pulling the strings from behind the scenes, as I can figure.
He's
the one also running
not
the
John
jazz program.
Darnielle, unfortunately.
No. The interesting thing is that, one, this is the head coach from Incarnate Word before GJ Keene. So GJ Keene had been there for only this year. And then 3 years before, Commish is turning his head at me.
I thought it was GJ Kinney.
Is it Kenny? I'm going to go for that too. GJ Kinney, fine. GJ Kinney. And then the 3 years before that, it was...
Not as bad as Mobile. It's okay.
It was North Texas's new coach. Oh my God. This is Eric Morris.
Yes.
Now, if you are looking for Eric Morris on Twitter, don't just try to look at Eric Morris. There's lots of those. He got to Twitter very late in his career because his Twitter handle is @__ Coach Morris. Clearly, you got to make sure that you find the right guy. This is an interesting hire for North Texas. This has a lot of local pedigree. He's from Texas. He actually went to Tech and had worked with Mike Leach at a couple places. This past year, in fact, he had, not with Mike Leach, but he had actually gone out to Wazoo and was Wazoo's offensive coordinator.
And he took the quarterback with him, Cam Ward. So
yes.
I don't know if Cam Ward may hop into the portal again and follow him to North Texas, but I don't think he should. But
old man Austin's gone. You got to find someone.
You do.
Yeah, they got to get someone.
You do, and then you can get back to Texas. I don't know exactly where Cam Ward is from off the top of my head.
They got to check the minor league baseball rosters.
Yeah,
sure.
For another Austin Yankee.
It was such a burn to keep putting up poor Austin Ani's on. I gotta learn his name eventually. Putting up his RBI every time he threw a ball, they would post at the bottom like, "Did you know he's old?" And also, here's his RBI. Like, come on, guys.
He was in the New York Yankee system, and he never made it past. It was just like, come on, let it go. Let this pass. He's literally a dad, and he's married. He has a kid. So, yeah, Austin, I think his last game is going to be the bowl game, and then he's going to try to go to the NFL.
I'm going to be at that game.
Oh, yeah.
So I may need an old man card or something.
You got to get it. You got to get an autograph.
I will.
He was a second-round pick in 2012. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know he's for being old, but he's pretty old.
No, it's fine. He's super old. He knows it. I think the oldest non-kicker in FCS.
Isn't Miami's punter like really old?
I think it was like 32.
Yeah. Although there's these Australian punters that have all worked in steel mines and paper mills, and they come over and they do this for a couple years and then go back home. So we have our bowl previews. Like last time, what we're going to do is we will say the bowl name. We'll talk about it a little bit. And then we will present ourselves with an alternate bowl from our list of AI-generated bowls, plus the ones Commish came up with. And then we will see where we prefer to choose them, or prefer to send them. Because there's 4 of us and an even number tonight. We will figure out tiebreakers as we go.
I have a suggestion.
Okay, go for it.
If they're a tie, aren't they a coin flip?
Oh.
They are. That's true.
Can we make the noise?
Oh, of course we will.
Yes.
Did you like my wheel sound last time?
It was nice.
The wheel sound was great.
Okay. It sounded like the little spinner in the Game of Life.
It was actually a bicycle wheel.
Oh, okay. So you put the cards on the spokes.
That's what it's supposed to sound like. Yeah. Our first bowl game we're going to cover in this set of bowls, Wednesday, December 21st, is the New Orleans Bowl. Commish, tell us about your hometown bowl game.
What do you mean? I've been to the New Orleans Bowl is great. I'm glad that they've put it in its slot again at 8 p.m. Central because they tried one time.
Isn't this usually on the first day of bowls? This has traditionally been on like that first day of
weekend. Yeah, usually pretty early.
Okay. It's the first weekend. It's typically on it, but I guess they pushed it back a little bit. But they've put it in its slot at the 8 p.m. Central Time, which is perfect for a bowl game in New Orleans. You don't want the bowl game at like 11 a.m., which if you do, because pretty much nobody's going to bed, and they're going straight to the bowl game and go right ahead and hit your
A lot of mimosas at that bowl game.
Some mimosas are some fancy spicy Bloody Marys if that's your thing,
or just smuggling in ribs, since we know we can take ribs into the Superdome now.
Just smuggling
Did we
some
confirm
breakfast
it was
ribs.
one rib or multiple ribs?
We never did. I still think it was a bandolier of ribs.
It's on his chest.
We gotta interview this guy. I don't
I mean,
Yeah,
aren't we all technically taking ribs into a game?
He just had some extras.
Oh, there you go.
He just had some extras.
Animal species.
That's right. So the New Orleans Bowl again is one of the bowls that, like, when it first started, there was not a sponsor. There was just the city of New Orleans. The greater New Orleans community was like, hey, let's do a bowl game. We already had the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. They were just like, why do we need another bowl game? In the beginning, the New Orleans Bowl really didn't have any sponsors, which is strange. Then they had like a hotel. Then Katrina hit. Then they had the New Orleans Bowl at Lafayette.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
So they had the New Orleans Bowl at Lafayette. So that feels appropriate. Like the University of Louisiana at Monroe, the New Orleans Bowl at Lafayette. And then the sponsor that has never left them since 2006. It is the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
That's brand loyalty right there.
Yeah.
Because when you think of New Orleans, you always think of trucking logistics.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you really think about. In 2006, R&L Carriers debuted a commercial for this bowl game, and they've used the same exact commercial since 2006. It is the same commercial every time, and I cannot find it on YouTube, but they will show it in the game. They will show it. Please show this one.
Between
that and the Hershey Kiss like Christmas commercial.
Yes.
I was just about to talk about the Hershey Kiss Christmas commercial.
I mean,
it's iconic. Also, the Hess truck. The Hess truck ads change every year, but that's another one. Like Hess truck forever.
Does everyone have a Hess truck in their home?
I do not have a Hess truck, but young Pitt Girl wanted one.
I have a Hess truck.
I don't have one in the house. I may need to get the little one for Christmas now. He's big in the Legos right now, so yes, maybe a little bit different. Hess Legos. Who knows? So the R&L's Carriers, like the ad, it's just like an ad talking, and it's just like they're on computers that look like they're from 2006, and they're on the phone. There's like the receptionist thing with like the clear reception thing with the little metal tip, talking about logistics and showing their massive headquarters, which is like 10 cubicles. But they've been the sponsor of the New Orleans Bowl for, I mean, we're almost approaching 20 years now of the New Orleans Bowl. So it's absolutely amazing. This game is always fun. It's a fun atmosphere. It doesn't necessarily fill up the entirety of the Superdome, but it fills up the bottom, which is the loudest part. So all the sound echoes down in the dome, and it's fantastic.
This has been a Raging Cajuns home game a lot of times.
A lot of the times, yes.
Yeah, they put them there a lot.
Yeah, so the Cajuns come, I mean, they're like, what, 2.5 hours, like two and a half hours away from New Orleans, and they'll stay the night, and they'll have a great time. It's great. This year, we get South Alabama, who is coming from Mobile.
From Mobile, Alabama.
They're being mobile and traveling from
mobilizing from Mobile.
Mobilizing from Mobile. And then we get Big Red on Bourbon Street, man. Big Red on Bourbon. I don't care whatever you do.
Arrested, please.
Just open it up. Open up that maw and just pour the hurricanes in.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like the foot long drink thing. Yeah.
Just put I want to see Big Red in the Pato's piano bar.
Yeah.
Playing the piano. Please give me that. I want Big Red to get a lovely hamburger from Port of Call, grab a monsoon, and then swing by Tropical Isle to get himself a hand grenade. So
make him a crown of beignets.
Ooh.
Big Red with the powdered sugar all over his face.
Oh man, you're never gonna. It looked like he'd done so much coke. He'd like a coke up lunatic.
I mean, who knows?
It's a coked up lunatic.
I guess that's more of a Miami thing.
So let's see what.
It's a big port city in New Orleans, so
Let's see what our alternate bowl is going to be. Our alternate bowl option is insert sound here.
Clickety clickety clickety.
Clickety clickety clickety. Number 6. Here we go. The Human Rifle Bowl. The location is undisclosed. The stadium is somewhere in the hills, and the theme is never turn your back on the Human Rifle Bowl. It will strike when you least expect it.
This is in central Pennsylvania.
It feels, or West Virginia. I was going to say
or West
either
Virginia
way.
in the hills. Yeah,
It's in the Appalachians somewhere. So are we sending them to New Orleans or to an undisclosed location in Appalachia?
I mean, some of
I'm
us
really
live in
terrified.
undisclosed locations.
Yeah, true.
I would be terrified to have Big Red roaming through the hills. I mean, Big Red on Bourbon
Would
Street.
they hunt
is
him for
another
sport?
Thing. I don't know. I'm gonna keep him in New Orleans, but I'm biased because I'm from there, and I want Big Red in New Orleans. Give me all the Big Red in New Orleans. I want all the cameos. Western Kentucky, please, all the Big Red in New Orleans.
The question that I have is Big Red being hunted, or is Big Red the hunter? This is the real question here.
Important.
It
starts one way and becomes the other. You know how that goes. There's that moment where the hunter becomes the hunted. Except
we're playing
that
the
you can't
most
see that.
dangerous game, but with Big Red.
Absolutely correct.
This is
Big
very,
Redditor.
very persuasive, but I am going to have to agree with Commish. We'll send them to this bowl game next year, but for this year, Big Red gets to go to Bourbon Street.
I'd rather the hunting spree occur in a place with delicious food, so let's go with New Orleans.
I'm going to send him to New Orleans too. So congratulations.
You get to stay. You get to stay,
in, New Orleans. In New Orleans.
And nobody hunts you down. Thank you, AI, for this terrifying bowl game.
Can we shout out South Alabama for a great season too?
Yes, absolutely.
Almost beat UCLA.
Almost.
Going for the fake field goal.
Who knew that Who knew that was a marker of how good South Alabama was, and that UCLA was once again just cratered. It turned out good for both teams.
It did.
That was a great game in the beginning of the year.
I think it was on the Pac-12 network. So
it was. Yeah, me from Moldova watching.
Smart fridge.
So the next day, Thursday, December 22nd, you're building up to Christmas. I haven't left for my in-laws yet. It will be the Armed Forces Bowl. This is Air Force versus Baylor. Armed Forces Bowl.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. It sounds Swedish. The Armed Forces, bro.
Were you watching The Swedish Chef before you came on here? What's going on?
Baylor.
The best thing about this one, it's played in Fort Worth at A.M.G. Carter Stadium, which is TCU's stadium. The coolest thing that I did not know about this game is the trophy is fucking fire. The trophy looks like a stealth bomber. It is sponsored by Lockheed Martin.
Cool.
And before that, it was sponsored by Bell Helicopter, which is out of Fort Worth. And Lockheed has a big thing in Fort Worth, too. It's a pretty cool trophy.
What if we painted it with Ben to black so it was even blacker?
It would just suck in all the black.
Yes.
Becomes a black
creating
hole.
the singularity, but it's a bowl game trophy.
This game is incredibly sickos just on its face. I know Air Force is in the game, but who they're playing?
Yeah.
They're playing Baylor. Now think about this if you're a Baylor fan, which one of our followers did tag us in this tweet, so I don't know him off the top of my head, which I should have saved the tweet, but I did not. This bowl game is in TCU Stadium. So Baylor has to go to TCU Stadium while their rival, TCU, is in the college football playoff.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That person was like, you want to know what hell looks like? This is what hell looks like.
This is hell. Well, I mean, you could not be bowl bound. How about that? I mean, it's an incredibly sickos game. It's just ridiculous.
Baylor also had kind of an under-the-radar sicko season. They had a 3-game winning streak and then a 3-game losing streak, including the last-second field goal against TCU. They also played a wild game against BYU. It was a double overtime game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty sickos team this year.
And then Air Force looked like they were going to destroy the Earth, and
they got chinks.
Hey, no. Air Force won the Commander-in-Chief trophy for the first time since 2016. They had a fantastic season.
Did you see the tweet they dropped right as Army Navy started?
Yes, they were like, it's home. Thank you, Air Force.
Rolled it out. And then the best part was, so apparently Army Navy has a trophy, like it's just a smaller trophy. And there were stuff like pictures of Army like lifting it up in the locker room, whatever. And Air Force people were so salty, just constantly reminding like, I guess you got that trophy. That trophy doesn't look whatever. And my only response was, how heavy is that trophy?
We
no one responded, but I assume it's less than 170 pounds. Our alternate bowl is the Fireworks Winnipeg Bowl in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh.
The stadium is IG Field, which is on the campus of the University of Manitoba.
Is that where the Blue Bombers play?
No, that's not.
Okay.
That's a professional team, sir.
Oh, Okay.
The University of
That's too
Manitoba's
highbrow.
mascot is typey. Oh no, this is the classy bison. Hold up, I'll put a picture of it in the.
Oh
Okay.
yes, I know about this.
This is the classy bison.
Yeah, IG Field, formerly Investors Group Field.
There we
It is
go.
the home of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Oh, it is. Never mind. I'll
Yes.
shut my mouth
Really?
then.
Yes, owned by
Hey.
Triple B Stadium Incorporated, the consortium of the City of Winnipeg, the Province of Manitoba, the Winnipeg Football Club, and the University of Manitoba. The stadium is home to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, to Valor FC of the Canadian Premier League, to the University of Manitoba Bison football team, and to the Winnipeg Rifles, which is
The
a
Canadian Junior
football.
Football League.
So it's sort of a Heinz Field situation going on, but
There we
smaller.
go.
You're gonna have to bevel that bison.
I put the
already.
fancy bison in the Discord. I love the fancy
Mhm.
bison.
You're gonna have to bevel that already.
I'll
Bevel
bevel
that
that.
bison.
Ooh, that is a very fancy
Love that.
bison.
The story of this game. Named for the 1998 song by the tragically hip, the Fireworks Winnipeg Bowl is the only NCAA sanctioned bowl to be played under Canadian rules. Every first down, tackle for loss, punt, rouge, and field goal results in a single fireworks shell. Touchdowns are followed by a full 3-minute display.
Beautiful.
We have Fort Worth, Texas, or we have Winnipeg. Commish?
Wait. So the name of the song is the name of the bowl is
Fireworks Winnipeg Bowl.
I know, but the tragically hip song is Fireworks?
I believe so.
Oh, there it is. I want to get in the mood before I hear it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's a great dramatic pause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome to the
There we
Sickos
go,
Committee
yeah.
podcast, where you can listen to us Google stuff and also
Mhm.
to me narrating Commish listening to a song you can't hear.
Hmm.
He's vibing.
Yeah, that's good. He's bouncing.
All right, I'm sending him to Winnipeg. On the
Okay,
way.
there we go.
Do it. Done.
As sickos as it is that Baylor has to play a bowl, or theoretically has to play a bowl game at TCU, you sold me with the Canadian rules football on short notice. That's it. They're going to Winnipeg.
I'm also going with Winnipeg. I feel like exactly what Pitt Girl just said about Baylor having to go to TCU. I think they prefer to go anywhere, and let's send them to Canada.
I like that. We're going to.
I'm now also listening to the song.
We are sending them to Manitoba.
An additional
on-
note
Robin.
for everyone's enjoyment, just regarding Winnipeg, and then we can not. This is an outdoor stadium, and it is
Yes.
currently, as of 11 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday the 12th, 33 degrees and snowing, and I'm sure Baylor will enjoy that.
I think Baylor would be completely fine going to Canada to avoid playing in TCU Stadium.
And I think
they would.
remember we also established that we are not telling the teams until they're on the plane.
That's right.
So not only are you on the plane, but then also, by the way, here's the Canadian rule book. Here's what a rouge is.
Wait. How is Baylor going to go from just going across the state to getting on a plane to Canada?
Texas is big.
Texas is real big.
Waco
Just keep reminding
to-
them, like, Texas is so big.
Waco to I guess Fort Worth is a couple of hours. 2
No, it's-
hours, right?
For flying? No.
No, I'm talking about 2 hours of driving.
Yeah, like 2 hours driving.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
10-minute
so
flight.
you get them. You say you're going to drive them. You get them on a plane that you have dressed up like a car or a bus.
Okay. This is really
I mean, what is a plane but a bus in the air? honestly?
Right,
That's right.
basically, right?
exactly.
So then, but you can't have window shades, so you have to have panels on the side. It's going to take a lot of money, guys, but we can make this work.
It's sponsored by the Tragically Hip. They can afford this.
There we go. They're raking in that 90s indie money.
I'm just picturing Baylor getting off the plane and having like that Cool Runnings moment when the Jamaican bobsled team got to Calgary and they immediately just freezing and they went
Yes.
into the store to buy all the coats and that's what I'm picturing in my head.
The bowl swag is just parkas.
Yes. We've got on Friday, December 23rd, 2 games. I am at my in-laws at this point, so I'll need some distraction. Guys, I'd love to sit here and talk about politics, but I have to go watch the Independence Bowl. It's got Houston and Louisiana Lafayette. These are 2
Talk
teams.
about politics with Dana.
Yes.
That's-
Maybe not
basically,
recommended.
I figure this is basically Dana trying to get some comps at Shreveport casinos.
I got Dana in the Boomtown in Bossier. That's what
Oh,
I
there we
got
go.
him there. He's across the river, not downtown Shreveport. He is in Bossier, living it up in Boomtown.
Is he staying at the Best Western?
No, that's our headquarters.
Yeah, no, they can't know about that.
No,
All right.
Our very public headquarters.
Our
That
very
would
public.
be a breach of journalistic ethics.
We can't do that, even though we're at the Best Western on Monkhouse Drive in Shreveport, not too far from the Shreveport Regional Airport. For
How
in and
regional
out.
is that? How regional is that airport?
All I know is when I was in school in Monroe had an airport with 3 gates. They only ever used one.
Where did
And
the flight go?
all I know is Monroe Airport, the bar was amazing. They had 32-ounce Long Island iced teas for like $5. And
Dang.
Oh
my
God.
God, the last flight coming into like Monroe is like at like 8 p.m. But the bar is hopping until 2 a.m. Fun row, baby.
The Independence Bowl has been played since 1976, the bicentennial.
How
which
amazing.
was,
How appropriate.
I know, we really needed that after Watergate as a country. We needed
That's
that
right.
lift up
Yeah.
of the bicentennial.
Shreveport was
remember.
sent to save us from Watergate.
Said no one ever.
I just said it.
We've got Houston, who has had a very weird season in terms of ups and downs.
Extremely sicko.
Everybody get on the Cougar coaster. Whee!
Yeah.
And then
up
we
down.
have Louisiana Lafayette, who lost to their rival Monroe.
That's right.
That's all you
Forget
really
it.
need to know about their season.
Do you think ULM is going to put a billboard up on I-49 that the Cajuns have to drive up to Shreveport and, you know,
I would.
Cajuns crushed?
But then again,
Oh,
we all know that ULM is not known for, let's say, having money.
Billboards aren't that
Yeah.
expensive.
Everybody can afford a petty billboard.
That's true. Like, I mean, we could probably afford a petty. We need to consider that at some point.
Ooh.
A billboard. I wonder how much. Where would we? Okay,
Can't be
sure.
that-
Yeah,
can't be that
perhaps,
Gotta
maybe.
expensive.
put the Sickos face in Times Square.
There we
Done.
go.
That's right.
The new white whale.
Like a crypto company, like a new crypto like a new crypto coin. We're advertising in Times Square, guys.
Sickoin.
We have the Independence Bowl and all the good things that come across with Shreveport. The gambling, the drinking, the Dana Holgerson in an upturned riverboat trying to commandeer it and sail for international waters.
Can he get to international waters from Shreveport?
I'm looking at what the nearest international port is to Shreveport. Please
You can
hold.
get
I
down the
think he can-
Mississippi.
I think he can get down the Sabine.
I mean, it's not that far from Mexico, is it?
No,
I mean,
Billboards
if you're
in
getting to Mexico,
Shreveport.
you just got to get to international waters. We're not talking about getting to. Oh, I thought that was on the Mississippi. No, that's on a different river.
Oh no, it's on the other side of the state. So
Okay.
Monroe's closer to the Mississippi than Shreveport. But yeah, they probably have to float down the Red River into the Sabine, and then get all the way down, pop out by like Beaumont, Texas, and you're in the Gulf.
Just imagining Dana fording a river like in an
The
old,
Oregon Trail.
like
Yeah,
Mark Twain movie, yeah,
He's got it.
or Mark Twain book rather.
I wonder if
So-
Dana will be at Louisiana Downs for some off-track betting.
Ooh.
He's already there.
So our alternative. I said that weird. Our
You say a lot of
alternative.
things weird.
You haven't.
Apparently,
you
I
haven't-
do.
You're like self-conscious about pronunciation now. It used to be me.
I have the
With
yips
the-
now.
the-
I've got the yips.
You
Well, I
the-
have an idea for an off-season game also as a side note, and that is that Beth and I draw up a list of like towns in Pennsylvania and have you guys attempt to pronounce them.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
Christ.
that sounds great.
I'll
definitely be on that
I'll
one.
do that, but we'll also do Texas ones.
Okay.
Okay, and then I will come in with Louisiana. So
I can't.
we
Man, I
got
can't
that.
do
Let's-
Louisiana
Oh,
ones.
come
Good
on, let's
God.
go. Yay, you're going to make me play. Y'all get to play too.
Our alternative bowl is the Brill Cream Bowl. Brill Cream Bowl,
All right.
played in Birmingham, England.
Hmm.
This is at St. Andrews Stadium. Brill Cream is a famous hair product that caught on in the U.S. in the 50s and 60s, and attempting to make a comeback in the U.S. by sponsoring a bowl game. Bowl game participants will receive product and free hairstyling session as part of their bowl game festivities. There will also be a sock hop.
Oh, man.
All right, two
Dana-
things.
Okay.
Mhm.
go
Is
right
Dana allowed to leave the country?
Oh,
Does Dana
man.
Does,
We don't
does
know.
Dana need free hairstyling with his hairline? I don't know.
I want to
Who's
see
that?
if what Brill Cream can do, because apparently their slogan in the 1950s is "A little dab will do you." Can it wrangle in the Dana Holgerson hair?
Did you guys tell that I dabbed?
I don't
It's
know
a
that
very good
anything
one.
could wrinkle it in Dana's hair.
I don't know, man. If it can, Brill Cream could be making a comeback in the United States.
Pitt Girl, where are you sending them?
You know, Birmingham is enticing, but we can't not have a bowl game at our headquarters. Dana will remain in Shreveport, thereby not causing any international crises.
Yeah, we
A
don't.
good
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was going to say. No international incidents. Send him to Shreveport.
I feel like if Dana winds up in Birmingham, England, he could be prime minister for like a week, and
Yeah.
I mean, Boris Johnson lasted a while, so
I don't know. They got the same style hair, I guess.
That's
Uh, No, we keep it in Shreveport. This is our headquarters. This is our spiritual home. Definitely. I love that old billboard. The perfect Christmas gift.
I just dropped something in the Discord. Remind me. I kind of all of a sudden want to put do this ad with Dana Holgerson in it.
Oh my god!
No.
That's a really easy Photoshop. Hold up, I'm throwing the Photoshop suggestion so I remember.
All right, do it.
For the listeners, it is a 1950s ad with a disembodied head. Check the Twitter.
I'm also going to have them in Shreveport because that is our spiritual home. On that same Friday at 5:30 p.m., we have the Gasparilla Bowl.
Is it Spanish?
No, it's Gasparilla.
It's like faux Spanish.
Okay.
Come on, it's northern Florida. They don't.
Gasparilla. You have to get the th in there too. It's Castellano. Gasparilla Bowl. I went to Spain for summer and I ate the guacamole. It was delightful. This game is the one that has had so many different names. This is the Bitcoin Bowl. This was the Bitcoin Bowl before crypto took over all the naming rights.
Bitcoin in 2014?
Yes.
If I could, the mascot for that bowl, mascot costume.
I was just thinking about that.
If we could ever hunt it down.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, look it up.
I'll put a picture in the Discord.
God, it's good.
It's crazy. This used to be the St. Petersburg Bowl.
That original logo is good with the bridge.
Sponsored by Magic Jack.
Yeah, that was fake long distance theft. Yes,
you could call through your computer.
Yes,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was great. And this was by long I mean 4 years of Beef O'Brady Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And the original Bad Boy Mower Bowl.
The original Bad Boy Mowers Bowl.
So this is also the one that used to be in the fucking Tropicana Dome that was so awful. This bowl game has everything.
So bad.
Put the bowl game back in the Trop. Do it.
That was the worst.
I think it was funny when the Bad Boy Mowers sponsored the game for the first year. It was in the Tropicana Dome, and so that was even more hilarious than what it is now. And then they made them move
the Bitcoin mascot.
It's great.
God.
It's got the shutter shades. It's like very of its time.
Yes.
Indoors.
In 2014. Like, again, this is so far ahead of its time. It did not even know. This one is now played outdoors at Raymond James Stadium, which sort of turned it into sort of a meh bowl. But we have Mizzou and Wake Forest this year.
I just want to read about this bowl's tie-ins.
Go for it.
Okay. So this is the ultimate wild card bowl game. You want to know why? Because just listen to this list of tie-ins of conferences that somebody could go to this bowl game.
Okay.
So as of 2020, the football season, it could feature teams from 8 different conferences as well as 2 independent, Army and BYU. You could get the ACC, the Big 12, the Pac-12, the SEC, the American, Conference USA, the MAC, and the Mountain West. The only 2 conferences that do not have any tie-ins to this bowl game anymore are the Big Ten and the Sun Belt.
How does the Sun Belt not have a tie-in to this bowl?
Yeah, this feels very Sun Belt.
The Big Ten was like
a MAC Pac-12 matchup, like we had in the Sun Bowl.
The Mac-12 matchup. Definitely.
Was that Central Michigan and Wazoo? Didn't Central beat them?
That was in
the
Sun
Bowl.
Bowl.
Canceled.
Yes, they did.
That was the 2020 bowl season, which was a blur.
If you put a gun to my head and asked me how Mizzou's season was, I don't know that I could tell you.
They lost that
6-6.
weird one to Auburn, and that's it. That's the only thing
I
know.
remember. And they played Georgia close.
Speaking of Auburn, hey, Pitt Girl, did you see who's taking a trip to Auburn?
I did, and I'm trying not to engage. Because Auburn's head coach is still Auburn's head coach.
My dad only refers to this bowl game as the Beef O'Brady Bowl. Whatever the sponsor is of this bowl, no matter what, it is the Beef O'Brady Bowl.
That's correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's kind of like, you get older and you just stick to your same, whatever you wear, same style shoes or whatever.
My kid picked up my DS the other day to play it, and I called it a Game Boy. Like an old man that I am. Like my parents called everything a Nintendo. I called it a Game Boy because that's just what I went to.
My
this is also very Pennsylvanian in that it's pronounced Heinz Field. The Carrier Dome is pronounced the Carrier Dome. Just how it is.
Do we all know, just to bring it back to the game and Tampa itself, do we all know about the Gasparilla Pirate Festival, what the game is now named after? Do we know about this?
It's their Mardi Gras, right?
It's
basically.
It's Mardi Gras on boats. And everybody's dressed up as pirates. So it feels like Bourbon Street.
Gasparilla. Yeah.
Gasparilla.
Gasparilla.
Gasparilla, named
named-
after
the
Jose
myth-
Gaspar, known by his nickname Gasparilla. So you're actually maybe correct about the pronunciation, although he himself is apocryphal.
It's only Gasparilla if it's grown in the Gasparilla region of Spain.
Yeah.
Which is actually
say,
Tampa.
Otherwise, it's Sparkling Pirate.
so what is?
Mhm.
How would you say Tampa in Spanish?
Tampa?
Tampa.
Tampa.
Oh, this is
Tampa.
like people pronouncing Tampa Bay. Tampa.
Yes.
Tampa.
The
I want to
other
go. I want to go to Ibiza.
Ibiza. The other team, everyone has said Tampa is the Ibiza of the Gulf Coast. People have said this. If you take a pill in Tampa, you're probably going to end up in the ER. I'm just going to say. Please don't take pills in Tampa.
Don't do it. You'll wind up at Busch Gardens.
How did Wake do this year? Did Wake have an okay year?
7 and
They had
5.
an okay year.
So
Wake
it's 6
did
and
Wake
6,
things.
7 and 5, SEC and ACC. That's sort of. You want to talk about like the bowl season games that I just always forget? It's these kinds of games. It's like the 6 and 6, 7 and 5
Power teams, yeah.
You're right. Just like, okay, fine, sure. This
Yeah,
game
I
is
guess
Wake
Missouri
was-
and
Wake
Wake
was-
aren't power teams, but
Yeah, and like Wake was good last year, but Sam Hartman did not have as good of a season this year, and like they were fine.
Well, apparently he had to take out a piece of his rib or something.
yeah, is
Yes.
he playing in this game or is he
Yeah, he's-
transferring?
I believe he's playing. I haven't heard him opting out or going to the NFL draft.
So while he looks that up, I have our alternate bowl. It is the Choo Choo Bowl in Chattanooga,
yes.
Tennessee at Max Finley Stadium.
Ooh,
I'm in.
Teams are required to take trains into Chattanooga rather than fly or bus.
okay.
All events other than the game itself are hosted in the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum.
Hmm.
So we have Tampa, or we're putting them on trains to Chattanooga.
The Chattanooga Choo Choo Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, what are you feeling?
This is really hard. What number is the? Oh, here it is. I found the Choo Choo Ball.
I think it's 17.
What a
16.
sentence.
Man, this is good, but the Gasparilla is also good, so I'm gonna keep him in Tampa.
Give them to Tampa.
I, as a native of an area very close to the Strasburg Railroad, I got to vote for the trains. We're sending him to
That's
Chattanooga.
exactly-
We already have another bowl in Tampa, which I believe is the formerly known as Outback Bowl.
That's the Outback Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the Hall of Fame Bowl. That's what I call it, sir.
Yes. True.
Okay,
The Hall
Grandpa.
of Fame Bowl. No,
We'll make the bloomin' onion.
if they had a really catchy theme song and it's just the Chattanooga Choo Choo, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, they're going to Chattanooga. Let's send them to Chattanooga. Do it.
Okay, so then my vote counts this time.
Your vote always counts.
I really like. I'm in Texas. My vote never counts. I really like trains. So they're going to the Choo Choo Bowl.
By the way, I looked up Sam Hartman. 2 of his last 4 tweets are about NFTs, and there's no information about if he's opting out or not.
There we go.
Bitcoin Bowl.
The Bitcoin Bowl. That's perfect. Way to go, Sam.
So congrats, Wake Forest and Mizzou. Get on the train now because you're going to need some time. Guys, I'm so excited to tell you. On Saturday, December 24th, the tradition is back. After 2 years off, we're going to get a Hawaii Bowl.
Yes.
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 I won't have to. Guys, my in-laws, I'd love to sit here and talk about how anthropomorphic climate change is fake. I love having that conversation with you every year. It's so much fun. But I need to go watch the Hawaii Bowl.
Anthropomorphic climate change. Climate change that we have peopleized.
with
We
people
think the
like-
climate changes people.
Well, are they really? Are they really big fans of Captain Planet?
Yes, they are. Apparently
Okay.
so. This is Mitsu and San Diego State. And the best part about this game is that you have to remember which bowl this is. Because this is the Hawaii Bowl that started in 2002.
I'm going to try to say this really fast as like the Micro Machines guy or the end of the commercial credits when you're trying to finance a vehicle.
Go for it.
So I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if I will be able to, but I'm going to give it a shot here.
That's
The Hawaii Bowl is not affiliated with other bowl games previously staged in Hawaii. The Poi Bowl, 1936 to 1939. The Pineapple Bowl, 1940 to 1941. 1945 to 1952. The Aloha Bowl, 1982 to 2000. And the Oahu Bowl, 1998 to 2000. Or the Hula Bowl, All-Star Game, 1960 to 2008, resuming in 2020. While the Aloha Bowl tried to move to San Francisco, California, and it was decertified by the NCAA, the Oahu Bowl was moved to Seattle, Washington. It was held for 2 years as the Seattle Bowl before losing certification in 2002.
in our doc. It's also in small font. Everybody. So to keep behind the scenes.
Why was it the Poi Bowl? Of all the things you reached for Hawaii, Poi? That's what you reached for first? I like Poi. I'm a Poi
That's
fan.
taro. It's like
Maybe it's
taro
in the
paste.
spirit of like the original bowl games where it was an actual bowl full of stuff.
Yeah, the pineapple bowl. That's the best. Like
Yeah.
pineapple bowl is great,
Yeah, fair enough.
but a
The
Poi
logo
bowl.
with
Big-
the top of the football becoming a pineapple is excellent. I'm
It's
so
one of my
glad that
favorites.
it's
This is
here.
the one last year. Shout out to the Easy Post social media team, because when the game got canceled like last minute last year, and so it
I
was just
felt
a
bad
day of
for
him
them.
like taking pictures of walking around the stadium, taking pictures of all the stuff there. They were giving away T-shirts online. It was great.
Boy, I sure wish the teams were here. Yeah, it's an unfortunate one.
Oh no, you
This
got to
is-
hang out on the beach and live tweet a game.
This is going to be at Hawaii's current stadium, which is their on-campus makeshift one that they're using for the next couple of years until they can build a new Aloha Stadium.
The Chang Athletic Center
Yes,
right?
the Clarence C. Chang Athletics Complex.
Complex. Yeah, it's a track with a football field in the middle, and they put up some bleachers.
Yeah, but it used to have like no bleachers, so this is a big
Yeah,
improvement.
they added bleachers.
I think they improved the capacity from like 2,700 to almost 10,000.
It's almost 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
almost
I think it's like 9,700. I mean, once the Aloha Bowl renovations are complete, which should be a few years.
Not renovations.
Oh, I mean,
a whole new ass stadium.
Whole
and
new
entertainment
stadium, sorry.
complex. And it's
Appa-
going to be a while because it takes a long time to get construction materials to Hawaii.
Yeah, and
Hawaii.
apparently, who would have thought this? Building things in a heavy saltwater environment with lots of that in the air makes metal corrode really fast.
How about that?
Like I remember when they condemned Aloha Stadium, and it was just like it felt like just like one afternoon. They were just like, "Oh no, we can't do this anymore." Like this.
Yeah,
this
did you see the pictures of how eroded the inside of the stadium was? It was terrifying.
We'll get a new one of those. The teams are Mitsu and San Diego State. Mitsu, who had a very confusing year, which included beating Miami, which was probably the
Well,
least confusing part.
Yeah.
And then we have San Diego State, who really embraced their inner Brady Hoke, had one of the worst offenses we've seen, and that includes Iowa. But their defense was pretty good.
How many different quarterbacks did they have play?
they had
At
a
least three.
safety. They had a safety playing quarterback
Yeah.
for a few games.
That's awesome.
Against Boise State, it was just a disaster. I think like two guys got hurt. I don't remember all the details, but it was rough.
So our alternate bowl is... It's going to be hard to get them out of Honolulu, I'm afraid, but we'll see. Number 2, the Resilience Fashion Bowl.
Ooh.
This is in New York City at Yankee Stadium
Hey.
and is to demonstrate the strength of Resilience fabric products. The uniforms will be washed at halftime to show no grass stains in the second half.
How long
So-
is that halftime show going to be?
With OxyClean, it'd go real fast.
They've got the
Billy May is
these
here.
industrial washing machines, I guess,
Yeah.
and like a jet dryer.
No, a literal jet backed up to just like hold
Oh,
the
yeah.
shirts in front of it.
Yeah, like they got somebody standing in front of like the NASCAR jet dryers, which are literally just like jet engines getting towed by a pickup truck. Just somebody standing there holding the jerseys up.
That shit always looks so like jury rigged as hell. Like,
Oh yeah.
I see those things and I'm just like, oh god, this is jet fuel's just sort of like not being contained very well.
You guys ever see the time that Juan Pablo Montoya like straight up crashed into one of those and it lit the track
Yes.
on fire?
Oh yeah, like
It's-
just like
No.
fireball.
As soon as you mention the jet dryers, the image of Juan Pablo Montoya hitting the jet dryers popped in my head. That's synonymous with any time somebody mentions.
Honestly, I feel a little bit bad for him because he's a very accomplished like race driver outside
Whoa.
of NASCAR, but he's only ever gonna get remembered for that.
I'm watching the video without sound.
Oh, it's just a giant fucking fireball.
Oh my god, so much fire!
Everyone was okay, so it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God. Oof.
Commish, are
a lot
you
of
sending
fire.
them to New York or to Honolulu?
All right, so Middle Tennessee has already been to Miami, right?
Yes.
So they got Miami Beach. San Diego State is in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
so they got the San Diego Beach. Do I want to send those two schools to Hawaii for another tropical vacation? No, I am sending them to Yankee Stadium. I wanna see this.
So mean.
You're going to Yankee Stadium. I'll probably get outvoted, but I'm sending them to Yankee Stadium.
Hey girl, what are you doing?
Commish makes an excellent point. I also like the sponsor gimmick of the New York game, but we don't need two games in Yankee Stadium. If this game was at Citi Field, I'd be interested. As it is, let's send them to Hawaii.
Andrew?
Yeah, as a Mets fan, I 100% agree. If the game were at Citi Field, I'd be rooting for it, but because it's another game at Yankee Stadium, let's send them to Hawaii.
I'm going to send them to Hawaii as well, but only on the fact that they're in Murfreesboro so many other months of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go to Honolulu. So then we have a day off. I believe the day off is called Tristmas? I don't know. It's some holiday.
Christmas.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Which we celebrate Wisconsin's former head coach, Paul Christ.
I was going to say,
did you just say Christmas? It feels like another slogan for Taco Bell.
I was going to say the day in which we celebrate the Live Moss lifestyle.
I'm at the church. I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination church at Taco Bell.
So we have a day off, and then
Crunchwrap Supreme is just another name for God.
Yes. What is a churro but a Eucharist?
The Eucharist is a cinnamon twist.
Yeah.
But seriously, what if we got the churro like blessed? Does it count?
Yes.
Does it transubstantiate?
Yeah, Catholics say yes, absolutely. Anything's transubstantiation. There's a really great like what is it? The alignment charts that are like how structural or how whatever, but for Eucharist. And the top corner is like only unleavened bread can be Eucharist. The bottom corner is like Jello can be Eucharist or whatever.
Oh, that's so good, that one.
Then we get to Monday, December 26th. You're all full. You're tired of dealing with your family. And then at 1:30 p.m., 1:30 p.m., the light shines. And guys, we get the Quick Lane Bowl.
Yes!
Woo! Bowling Green and New Mexico State. I'm so excited.
Two of my favorite teams this year. I've been railing for Bowling Green all year. You've given me grief all year.
Scott Loeffler lives.
Yes.
Scott Loeffler lives. He's maintained his job. Bowling Green lost to an FCS team in 7 overtimes. They
still made a bowl.
They still made a bowl game. New Mexico State survived the Sickos committee actually going to Las Cruces. And then went on a winning streak after we left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 4 in a row to end the year. Or is it 5 in a row to end the year?
Touch.
It was a lot.
Yeah, they beat Valpo, so.
New Mexico State tweeted something that said that Diego Pavia got Heisman votes. I haven't seen the full ballot. He wasn't in the top 10.
Don't care.
He was the first New Mexico State player to receive Heisman votes. So when we jokingly tweeted, Sickos committee vote Diego for Heisman, somebody listened to us. Somebody that had a Heisman vote listened to us. Which again, we are think and influencers of the college football world at this point. Thinkfluencers.
We're just the heartbeat of the real fan.
That's right.
Thought leaders. I just want to take a second to appreciate the Quick Lane Bowl as the Quick Lane Bowl, in large part because Pitt got sent there in 2019, and the quarterback for Pitt played Eastern Michigan in Detroit in that game.
I remember this game.
The quarterback for EMU punched a ref in the fourth quarter and got ejected, and it's the only thing that's so memorable about that game. But it rules.
Jesus Christ!
It was at the end of the game.
Hell. Jesus Christ!
It was like there were like 30 seconds left in the game, and he was just mad and like punched the ref. It was great.
He was trying to punch the air, but he fucking laid out.
He was trying to punch the other player, and the ref got in the way. So it was I mean, it was amazing.
He was trying to. Oh yeah, he was trying to punch the guy from Pitt. I'm watching it again.
Yes.
He just lays out the ref.
Was this the Little Caesars Bowl?
It was not then. It was the Quick Lane Bowl then. Pitt had gone to it when it was the Little Caesars Bowl also. And I remember that because James Conner was still at Pitt then, and they put him in at defensive end, and he almost got a sack. And it was awesome.
Incredible.
Amazing.
So the Little Caesars Bowl was different than the Quick Lane Bowl. The Little Caesars Bowl was sponsored by Little Caesars, and you couldn't get Little Caesars pizza in Ford Field.
That's right.
So that they folded, I believe, in 2013.
Okay.
And then the Ford Field Detroit Lions folks associated with Quick Lane Bowl took over this bowl in 2014. So it's not the same people that run it, even though there's been a continuous bowl game in the Ford Field site.
Okay. Our alternate bowl.
Everybody got that?
Yeah. Our alternate bowl for these two teams is going to be number 29. That is the Psychotic Step Bowl.
Oh my God.
What?
In Summerfield, Maryland at FedEx Field.
Oh God.
Okay.
No, never mind. Hold up. We did this one already. No, it said 29. Hold up. I was on the wrong one. My bad.
Oh, okay.
29. The Temple Discover Donuts Bowl. At
Everybody got a preview of 28.
Temple University. This is Lincoln Financial Field. This bowl game was created by Temple to remind people that they are in Philadelphia, that they needed a co-sponsor, and luckily Discover was willing to step in and sponsor the game with their new donuts plan that gives you 0% APR for the first year and extra cash back for every purchase you make at a bakery.
This is their response to Capital One Cafe, I presume, right?
Oh, yes, the Temple Discover Donuts Bowl in
Philly.
Philadelphia. So we have Philly or Detroit. Really, the question everyone has, and for where do I want to go in late December?
So Philly's outdoors.
Mhm.
Detroit is indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, New Mexico State is almost like our adopted team this year at
Mhm.
this point because I attended a game. I would rather them be indoors because I don't know how the Las Cruces folks will be handling the harsh Philly winter, even though they could be getting some donuts in
And
Philadelphia
cheesesteak.
and cheesesteaks. I would really like to see Jerry Kill run up the stairs and do the Rocky thing.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw Jerry Kill, I didn't realize he was not that tall.
No, he's a short dude.
No, I was like, I thought Jerry Kill would be, oversee. He was shorter than me from what I could tell, where I was standing when he did the Aggie walk. So, I mean, I'm not that tall of a guy either. I'm gonna keep him in Detroit. Let's just keep the Quick Lane Bowl going. Let the Aggies enjoy some Detroit style pizza, and maybe they can throw some red chili sauce on top of that pizza too.
Wow, I'm really on the fence about this one. Let's keep them in Detroit.
I will be sending them to Philadelphia, and here is why.
Ooh.
Not only is Philadelphia home of things like excellent cheesesteaks and the Rocky Steps. Side note, the last time I was in the art museum, I was in there for about an hour and then the fire alarm went off for some reason, and I did not get to see most of the art, but that is beside the point. Philadelphia is also home to a place full of wonders called Reading Terminal Market, which is a very large indoor market that has a multiplicity of stands with delicious food, including cheesesteaks, and the best damn donuts you'll ever have in your life. They are from Baylor's, which is from my hometown. They have a stand in Lancaster as well, and one at the market, and we are sending them there to get those donuts with those fancy new Discover cards, my friends.
Ooh, I haven't.
Can we
thought
relocate the game to Lancaster, Pennsylvania?
I haven't thought about.
They could play at Franklin and Marshall Stadium insofar as there is one, or Millersville. So sure.
Can you imagine?
But it is pronounced Lancaster, and I will fight you about that.
Oh gosh, no, I definitely have to be on the Pennsylvania pronunciation episode.
Yes, definitely. Can you imagine a cheesesteak with some red and green chilies? Oh man. Ooh.
Time out. Donut cut in half.
Oh, okay.
Cheesesteak filling.
Oh.
And red and green chili sauce. I'm putting them in Philadelphia.
Whoa.
We're to draw.
So we have our first tie.
Unless Commish has changed his mind.
No.
Coin flip.
We got to do a coin flip.
Do you have a coin?
Bling, bling, bling. Bling.
I do.
Hold it. You're going?
I'm recording in the closet here, so that's
I have an actual coin. I have one. I have a quarter.
So you all know the webcam is not blurrier than the one we saw for the what conference that was.
Was it the OVC?
Yeah,
the Ohio
OVC
Valley Conference, I think.
Yeah, Commish, call it.
I'll go tails, I guess.
All right.
Tails never fail.
Tails for Detroit.
It is tails.
All right.
Okay, going to Detroit.
They're staying to Detroit. All right.
Pitt Girl and I can go get some delicious cheesesteaks and donuts.
I mean, a Detroit-style pizza with red and green chili on it sounds fantastic, too.
So then now we're on to December 27th, a Tuesday. And for some reason, Lord has blessed us with 4 bowls that do not overlap. We have a full day of football. Thank you, God.
Yes.
The first game of the day at 11 a.m. Central is the Camellia Bowl.
You said it right.
Camellia Bowl.
That's right.
This
you
is
did it.
Buffalo.
Congratulations.
And Georgia Southern. Thank you. I'm so proud of myself.
I got to give you credit.
You guys.
Is this a 10 a.m. local time kick? Is Montgomery in the Central Time?
Montgomery is Eastern, I think.
So that would be
right on the edge.
Oh, it's Central Time. It's starting at 10 o'clock.
But this right here is because this is Central. This is Central Time Zone. This is LSU football.
Oh, it's LSU football. So it's okay.
This is all Central. So it's 11. So it's 11.
Okay. All right.
Camellia Bowl is the one that's played in Montgomery at the Crampton Bowl. So we have Buffalo, who squeaked into eligibility with their last game against Akron, where they almost fucked around and found out.
By 1 point, they got to go to Montgomery.
And And Georgia Southern, this is where we're sending Clay Helton and Kyle Vantrease and all our boys at Georgia Southern, who have had a hell of a
Former
year.
Buffalo quarterback Kyle Vantrease, too.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's right.
There's
Revenge.
some beef
Grudge
there.
match.
Revenge game.
Grudge match.
Who plays at the Crampton Bowl usually?
I think it's is it Alabama State? The Hornets?
I don't think so. They host the FCS kickoff game and 5 of Montgomery's high school teams. No one else.
Alabama State built an on-campus stadium in 2012.
So they used to be
there.
Okay.
So they used to play there. They are in Montgomery, though. Okay, so I was technically correct, and that is the best kind of correct.
It used to be a baseball
It's
stadium.
called the Turkey Day Classic. Did you see the mock-up of what it looked like as a baseball stadium? It's incredible.
It's beautiful. We have these 2 teams going to Montgomery, or the other thing I went to put on here was the Wheel of Fortune. The bum, ba-da, ba-da-da-da. Wheel of Fortune song is always my favorite. The Panola Pepper Bowl, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at Tiger Stadium. Named after a super regional hot sauce made famous by the reports of someone pouring this hot sauce on Huey Long's head and face in the early 1920s, after Huey Long had been alleged to cheat in a back alley poker game. So we have Montgomery or Baton Rouge. These are all making nice little pairs that I had not imagined. Like we had Hawaii or New York. Then we get something like we had Tampa or Chattanooga. Now we get Baton Rouge or Montgomery.
So hold on. Buffalo versus Georgia Southern in Tiger Stadium.
It's hard to beat that.
I mean,
we ride.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. Mike the Tiger's out there in his pen out the other side of the pen at one of the end zones. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, Baton Rouge, like they're not gonna fill up that stadium at all. But yeah, sending them to Baton Rouge. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I think Commish sold me on that.
I'm in. It just has on 2 conditions. The trophy has to be Huey Long with the hot sauce in his eyes, screaming like
done.
Visual podcast, sorry. And then it has to be a night game, so we have to move it to the nighttime.
It has to be a night game. You're right.
Night game in Death Valley. In. Sold.
Done.
It has to have all the intro, like the night game at Death Valley, the loudest place, and cut in LSU footage, and then like cut to the wide shots.
Moving this game to CBS so it can have the CBS like SEC on CBS music. Yeah.
Yep.
Whole 9 yards.
The Buffalo Bulls.
The best part about CBS Sports picking up all the Mountain West games this year was getting that theme before every cut into like Laramie, Wyoming.
There was a part this year where everybody just kept doing that when they made the Big Ten news that CBS was going to get Big Ten. And I mean, we realized that they used the CBS music on like CBS Sports Network for like Austin Peay versus Western Kentucky.
62 yards of offense. Da, 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 da.
So once you're done with your Camellia Bowl, actually, sorry, not your Camellia Bowl, your what do we call it? The Panola Pepper Bowl. We're now moving into the First Responder Bowl. Do you all know which bowl this is?
It used to be something else, but I don't remember what.
This was the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Classic. The Cotton Bowl. Classic. This was the bowl game that they made after the Cotton Bowl moved out of the Cotton Bowl. Then this became the Cotton Bowl Classic. Then it became the First Responder Bowl, and they moved it to SMU's stadium. Their on-campus stadium.
The Gerald R. Ford,
but not that Gerald R. Ford.
Not that Gerald R. Ford stadium. Yeah.
This is the bowl game they canceled one year because it was just raining too much. They flew in Boise and they flew in Boston College, and then they were just like, "We're not going to play this game because it was too raining."
Well, it is SMU that has like the stadium drainage issue where they had like the big bubble in the turf, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
And TCU's folks were talking shit, being like, "Our field's fucking fine."
It was torrential and there was lightning.
Their SMU stadium, which is adorable. I like it. It's really quaint. It has poor drainage, but apparently good pickup for horse poop. Memphis had a very meh year. Utah State had a surprisingly better year than we thought they were going to, or looked like it was going to.
Didn't they get their ass beat by Weber State?
Yes.
Was that them?
Yes,
that was them. Weber State we learned Weber State is a very good team. It was not a great year for Blake Anderson out in Utah State, but they're still working on that project. These are both 6-6 teams, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I will say in Utah State's defense also, they're still doing pretty well on the Aggie chart.
Oh, yes. No, on the Aggie chart, they're definitely above
some other Aggies we could name.
above some other Aggies.
And
you
they
can
beat
name,
UConn, so how bad could they be?
I mean, Fresno State couldn't beat UConn.
That was one at the beginning of the year where we were just like, is UConn good? We're like, is UConn going to
So
be
bizarre.
good?
We
We're
had
like, they
we
are
had no
fighting
clue.
hard in this game. Because Utah State was the defending Mountain West champs. And we're like, is UConn good? We're like,
That
wow,
was
they
a good
fought.
game.
Our alternate bowl to the first responder bowl is number 33, the Rice Bowl. Playing Houston, Texas at Rice Stadium. Funnily enough, it's named after a writer and rice and not the actual food. Interview with the Vampire and Queen of the Damned are featured prominently in the game, and the game takes place at midnight.
In spooky ass haunted Rice Stadium where the upper
And we
deck
have-
is
and we-
condemned.
And we have Houston, Dallas. Once again, we've created a beautiful pairing. It's Houston versus Dallas.
Send them right down I-45.
Memphis and Utah State, are we putting them in at the nice, shiny SMU Stadium or condemned ass Rice Stadium?
Partially condemned Rice. Yes.
Commish, where are you putting these lovely teams?
I don't know, like Memphis in the partially condemned Rice Stadium carrying that Bass Pro Shop energy down to Houston. I don't know. I'm gonna they're going to the Rice Bowl. Let's do it.
Send them to Houston.
Yeah, I'm in for the Rice Bowl. Every fan gets a free book by Anne Rice to increase literacy efforts in the community. And if you sit in the upper deck, your ticket is free. So the stadium might be condemned, but you know.
Oh yeah, easy choice. They're going to the Rice Bowl. They get to hang out with the ghosts in the upper deck.
That's right.
Suck it, Dallas.
We do these things not because they are easy, but because we have to go to Rice Stadium.
So Anne Rice's book is now called The Queen of the Condemned.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Funnily enough, where did Anne Rice go to school? Fucking North Texas. Go Mean Green.
It's
The best ever vampire novel writer out of Denton.
Yeah, probably. That probably is not true. If I'm going to guess, someone's fan fiction's pretty spicy up there.
Yeah, don't tell Anne
she
Rice
just
that though.
recently-
She notoriously hates fanfic writers.
Oh yeah, she does.
She just recently passed away. Rip.
Mhm.
Oh, well,
She-
further evidence that the upper deck at the Rice Bowl is haunted.
There we go.
Now
Rest
the
in
game
peace,
is in
Anne
her
Rice.
honor.
You've had this game at 2:15 p.m. and now you're rolling into your afternoon. Let me present you guys with the Birmingham Bowl. Coastal Carolina and East Carolina. The battle for the Carolinas, not those Carolinas, the other Carolinas.
The champion gets to play Western.
The Catamounts. Go Catamounts, baby. Is there a Central Carolina?
I feel like there is.
There's North Central Carolina.
I was going to say
okay.
NC
Yeah,
Central
HBC.
exists.
Yeah, NC Central
Central.
exists.
There's a
Central Carolina Community College exists.
and a
Oh,
Central
that-
Carolina Technical College.
Ooh.
Okay.
Central Carolina Tech in Sumter,
Do they have
South
athletics?
Carolina.
Oh. Central Carolina football. No, I do not want foot and ankle locations.
Oh no! Does not look like
This
Central.
game hosted Houston and Auburn last year.
Oh, what a game.
I blacked out on this game.
Oh, and it was
It
great.
was
No,
so
I
funny.
remember
Houston
like,
won 17-13.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous game, and then Dana Holgerson had like the
Yes.
Vulcan
Never
man
mind. I
with
remember
the-
this.
with his butt hanging out.
Like in his bucket of Coronas. Yeah, I
The-
remember this.
the-
Like on his table.
The bronzed cheeks of the Vulcan man in Birmingham.
This was
Didn't
also
Houston
the
tweet something extremely snarky too.
oh
He
yeah.
did.
He was
It was good.
he was talking big shit after this game.
He was.
This game was also the PapaJohns.com Bowl, the BBVA Compass Bowl, and the Jared
Yeah.
Birmingham Bowl.
Forever
Wait,
the
like-
BBVA Compass Bowl in our hearts.
That's
And by our
Jared
hearts,
from
I mean
Subway?
Pitt fans, because we went there 3 years in a row.
Yeah, this is Pitt's home. And what was Pitt's record in those 3 games there, Pitt Girl?
I was not a Pitt fan yet, but I would not be shocked if they were 0-3. I know they lost at least one of them.
1-2.
Okay.
Beat Kentucky, lost to SMU, lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
respectable.
This year they get Coastal and East Carolina, which is a way better game than it probably should be. I don't know how not banged up Coastal's going to be. If they look like they did against Troy, they're going to get boat raced by East Carolina. So
Well, Mr.
Yeah.
McCall Grayson did just enter the transfer portal. The coach left and went to I don't know what's going to happen here, Coastal. They're feisty. There's a lot of folks in the transfer portal. And East Carolina, I don't know what they're going to look like either.
That's why these bowl games are fun.
This
game is going to be fun.
I'm just going to say, we don't bet on anything at all. Don't bet on this game. Don't do it.
Oh, don't bet on bowl games. No one fucking bet on bowl games. God, don't do
it.
that.
Just do the regular season because you know who's playing. Then you got to figure out all the opt-outs, wherever the coach went where. Maybe your coordinator left and went to another job to take another job somewhere else. Yeah, don't do that. Don't.
One of the stats guys that I follow and work with on stuff, and I forget who it was, or I dropped the name, had me convinced that we should just drop all bowl stats from records because they're basically random number generators.
Yeah, I'd believe that. The one thing with that, though, is that it is a useful data point in terms of like interconference play, particularly with conferences that you don't see each other a lot. Which, as a side note, can we please have more Pac-12 SEC bowl games? Like, if we're going to add bowl games, can we add those, please? And
not Florida playing against a clearly better Oregon State. Now I've jinxed it, though. Florida's probably going to win now.
They're going to be Vegas powered. It's going to be real fun.
Yeah.
So the other thing about this game is that it's no longer interesting is that this used to be in Legion Field.
Aw, lame.
But now it's at Protective Stadium, which is UAB's new baby.
They tried to sanitize the Birmingham Bowl. This is not cool.
This is where they had the beautiful opening ceremonies to the World Games, which I covered in depth this summer.
That was a lot of fun. I
watching them do orienteering, running around a community college in Birmingham.
That was the one I was live tweeting orienteering.
Oh my God, she took the wrong turn. What's going on?
Oh, why did she go up the stairs that way while she's holding her map, trying to figure out how to navigate a campus in Birmingham?
It's beautiful. So our other option for this bowl game is number 10, the Matrimony City Bowl. The Las Vegas Compatibility Bowl, which we covered last time, was briefly renamed in 2015 after being sponsored by Matrimony City, a local drive-through marriage chapel. Matrimony City went out of business in 2016 and the name reverted. However, Matrimony City is back open now. So this is in Vegas at the MGM Grand Marquis Ballroom. So we discussed the last time, the ballroom ceilings are about 23 feet high, so it's low for a punt. And lots of things.
Hopefully they hire a medic, unlike they didn't have for the women's games that were played there.
Right. So we're also going to need a medic on site. So we have either Vegas or Birmingham. Really, the Vegas of the South, as a lot of people have said. I'm going to vote first this time because I never get to vote first. I'm going to claim this.
Go right ahead. You vote first.
Go ahead.
I'm going to leave him in Birmingham because Birmingham isn't truly an international city like we saw this summer. And I don't think that you can get that kind of worldliness in Vegas. I mean, I saw Charles Barkley throw a korfball.
Yes.
I'm not going to see that in Vegas.
Wow.
That was terrible.
It was terrible. He couldn't hit it.
Terrible. He was 1 for 4.
He was there with Dutch korfball star, insert name here, Floor Hoek. And absolutely got wrecked by her. So I don't know.
Amazing.
Vegas or Birmingham?
Birmingham.
The question we've all asked ourselves, Birmingham.
Yes. Questions we have all asked ourselves. Birmingham, because the MGM Grand Marquis Ballroom already has a bowl game, as established on our last show. And also because, as a Pitt fan, I'm morally obliged to support the Pittsburgh of the South.
Andrew?
Is Birmingham the one with the statue of Hephaestus?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Got the ass.
Birmingham.
Got the ass.
Yes.
Yep.
The Vulcan.
Commish.
The Vulcan butt cheeks. Yes. Done. Like it's fun because everybody forgets about it, and then they see the trophy, and then they see the statue of Birmingham, and just seeing all that ham out there. Definitely, it's more like Birmingham. But no, they're staying in Birmingham for sure.
Can I say that Vulcan butt cheeks has a very different?
Are you thinking about Spock?
I used to write fan fiction. I'm just gonna.
Oh my God, no!
You did?
No,
what?
No.
I was gonna say I used to write Trek fic.
No.
We're gonna leave it at that.
No.
I will find your fanfiction.net account now that you've told me this.
Oh damn!
Hope it got burned to the ground. Between that and all my Sailor Moon fan fiction, it's all out there somewhere.
Oh Jesus!
No.
This is therapy.
This is
Basically,
totally
no, this is not therapy because I haven't told my therapist that.
Oh, Jesus.
You heard it here first, Jordan's therapist. We know you're out there.
You've had the Birmingham Bowl and you're settled in for your nightcap.
Ooh.
9:15 kick Central, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. This is Oklahoma State and Wisconsin, and we've sent them out to Arizona.
Ooh.
Are they still playing this game in a baseball stadium?
Yes.
Or is it actually?
Yeah, it's at Chase Field.
Oh
Excellent.
man.
This is the one where
Have you?
it downpoured last year because they
Because
left the
stadium
roof
was-
they left the roof open to start with, and it downpoured. They almost had to like delay the game because of rain in a domed stadium.
It rained for the first 20 minutes of the game. It was so funny.
This was also the Cheez-It Bowl, the original Cheez-It Bowl, not
The
this
original.
fucking fancy Cheez-It Bowl. The
I know.
Cactus Bowl, the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl, Ticket City Cactus Bowl, Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, Insight Bowl, Insight.com Bowl, Copper Bowl, the Weiser Lock Copper Bowl, the Domino's Pizza Copper Bowl, and then just the Copper Bowl.
Man, we really need the Texas, the cactus. Wow, that was brain fart. We need that logo back with the goalpost as a cactus. So
It is. That's still the logo. We still have a cactus goalpost logo. So yes, this is played at the Diamondback Stadium. Wait, they used to play this at Sun Devil Stadium, like an actual football field.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they moved it to a baseball field.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yes,
why would you
for the
play
gimmick.
on a football field when you can play on a baseball field with really weird interior camera angles, which is the only thing that I remember about earlier iterations of this game, because I missed the Cheez-It Bowl, the one that was like
The TCU
Sickos'
one?
ultimate bowl game, because I had a
TCU,
migraine.
Yeah.
The best part about the Cheez-It branding, and we've said this on the Discord, but I'm not sure we've said it in the podcast before, is that the Cheez-It logo that they made for this game has the Arizona flag in it. You can see the sun rays in the background. And they've just copied and pasted this logo for their new ones in Florida. So the new Florida ones, they got rid of the
No.
cactus, but it still has the Arizona state flag in it.
Do better.
Beautiful.
No, don't. Graphic design is their passion, and it's our passion too.
These are two teams that definitely had seasons. Oklahoma State, you remember when Oklahoma State was doing so well? And then like a plane, they just lost all the engines at once. They had to make an emergency landing, and the emergency landing was in Phoenix.
Can I admit to some extreme sicko behavior?
Go ahead.
I was at a game where I watched Graham Mertz absolutely cook Northwestern and throw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns, but he's not playing in this game, unfortunately. Looks like he's going to Kentucky, so
I saw
just
that.
wanted to admit to some sicko behavior.
That's good.
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, it was the game after Paul Chris got fired. They were fired up to play Northwestern.
They got that post-firing interim coach bounce.
And then they didn't.
Oklahoma State didn't quite do the six wins and 6 losses, but came very close.
Very close.
They won 5 in a row, lost to TCU, beat Texas, and then lost the last 5 except for Iowa State.
What was the final score against Kansas State?
Against Kansas State, that was 48-0.
48-0?
Yeah, 48-0. That's bad. That's not as bad. No, that's actually worse than what Texas put up against Oklahoma. So
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Sorry, Texas went 49-0 against Oklahoma. That is our primary location. Let's see if we can get them someplace nicer than Phoenix. I mean, what's nicer than Phoenix, really?
I don't know, somewhere that's not an affront to water use.
So we have number 40, the Billy Goat Leaf Blower Bowl in Evanston, Illinois at Ryan Field.
Yes. See, it all comes back to Evanston.
From the makers of the Billy Goat Weed Eater come the all-new Billy Goat Leaf Blower. Billy Goat leaf blowers pack the power to clear out your entire yard from leaves and all other debris. All Billy Goat products sound just like a screaming goat the entire time you use them.
I'm sure the neighbors in Evanston are going to love that.
They're known for they're known for like loving loud noises and bright lights.
Wait. So this would be a night game in Ryan Field, so they'd have to bring in actual lights.
Yep.
For this one.
Which they don't have.
So they have to, like, there's not any permanent lights in Ryan Field. It's the only stadium in college football that doesn't have permanent lighting.
In the parking lot.
Yep.
So
like sandbags on them to stop from tipping over. Yep.
It's those like spotlights you see on like generators and stuff when you go to the fireworks stands here in Texas. Like, come get fireworks. It's a giant spotlight. That's what Ryan Field uses to illuminate night games if they ever have those.
I'm going to say that
Mike Gundy's mullet.
I'm going to say that the generators also will sound like screaming goats the whole time.
Oh, no.
What is that? Is it like that? Was it a goat that did like that famous scream? Like the,
yeah. So we have Phoenix or Evanston. That's a choice no one's made.
I can't pass up. There's a leaf blower. It reminds me of the Poulan Weed Eater. It's a Billy Goat leaf blower. I don't care it's in Ryan Field. It makes it even better. More sickos. I'm sending them to Evanston. Just do it. Wisconsin's at home. They've already won in Evanston, so they're
That's
they're
true.
fine with it. Oklahoma State, they're having a horrible season. They kind of fell apart after they lost that game to TCU and OT, and it all went bad. Their quarterback's in the transfer portal now, so why not send them to Evanston? I would love a snowy Mike Gundy.
I'm all in on Evanston as well. Going to bat for the mediocre to slightly falling apart Ryan Field. I just need an image. Do we all know the image of when they did the Northwestern reveal of the uniform where they come out of the lake?
Yes.
I just want that, but Mike Gundy, just coming out of the lake.
So
And point the leaf blower at him so he gets the flowing wet hair.
Done.
Yeah.
Flowing hair.
Yes. And then he shakes it out.
Mm-hmm.
And just says, "You're watching."
It's not polar bear plunge level cold yet in Illinois, but
in Lake Michigan, it absolutely is. I was
It will be.
I was in Lake Ontario last summer in June, and the water was 60 degrees, and Lake Michigan is much deeper. Mm-hmm. It is always a polar bear plunge when you are walking into Lake Michigan.
The current temperature of Lake Michigan in that area is 41 degrees.
Okay,
yeah.
Doing it.
Okay,
I'm all for the Evanston trip.
Pitt Girl, where are you sending them?
Oh, they're going to Evanston. Sweetening the pot a little bit for the neighbors. Halftime show also featuring leaf blowers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A 21 leaf blower salute.
And every time any of the teams score, leaf blowers.
Leaf blowers.
First down, leaf blowers. Third down, leaf blowers. Punt, leaf blowers.
Move those change.
DJ, what does the DJ have on his mix? Leaf blowers.
Leaf blowers.
Leaf blowers.
What is the DJ's name? DJ Leaf Blower.
Leaf blower. Absolutely.
I really want this bowl game to happen. Is this a real product?
I have no clue.
It is now. Trademark Sickos Committee.
Holy crap, it is.
It's real. Okay, yeah.
Someone beat us to it.
That's actually this thing, they have something called the Hurricane.
Whoa!
Oh, these leaf blowers are like the bad boy mowers of leaf blowers. These are like walk behind leaf blowers.
Oh my god.
Wheeled and stand on blowers.
What?
Nice.
What is it, like a hover? What is it, like a hovercraft with a leaf blower on it?
I know you could absolutely turn this into a hovercraft, though. If you pointed it the other direction, you absolutely could.
Oh my
Just
god!
Gun to 1,000 feet off the ground.
Imagine an industrial fan strapped on to like your regular garden variety walk behind lawnmower, and you've got a pretty good idea of these leaf blowers. These are definitely. I can't believe that this is not made by bad boy mowers because they all look like they should be.
Why has Bad Boy Mower not sued them yet? Is my question.
Bad boy blowers.
Bad boy blowers and mowers.
I'm seeing these cost like $2,000.
Oh my god! Yeah, they're like the cheapest one's $800.
That's for the tiny one.
Okay, now I can really see this. The halftime show. It's the band that are on like these riding leaf blowers, and they can get in perfect formation because.
One hand on the flute.
Beautiful.
My God.
So this was apparently our preview of the second set of bowl games. We did a good job. We previewed them very well, guys. We gave them all as much seriousness as they needed to be given. We will be back on our usual schedule, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll record the 18th. We'll put out the 19th for the next set of bowl games that will get us through New Year's, I believe.
Yeah, so we're going to do recording on the 18th and 20th, and then that's it. We'll probably come back maybe the 8th of January.
We got to break down the college national championship. 2 hours, baby. We're going to be talking schematics, talking the nuts and bolts of these games.
Yes.
We're not going to just sit here and recap the fucking Papa John's Bowl for 2 hours.
We would never do that.
Oh, before I forget, D2, D3 championships this weekend. D3 championship is on Friday.
Yes.
On ESPN Plus. That is going to be Mount Union and North Central.
North Central.
And that game is in Annapolis. On Saturday.
Mary Hart and Baylor lost?
They got blown crushed. The fuck out.
49-14, North Central crushed them.
And then we have our D2 championship on Saturday at noon Central. That is Colorado School of Mines and Ferris State.
Yep.
And you'll be there, right?
I will be at that one.
Awesome. Don't forget about the FCS semis.
I was going to say that too.
On Friday, we have Incarnate Word at the Fargo Dome against North Dakota State.
Yes.
North Dakota State is favored by 9.5. We'll see if Incarnate Word can keep it going with GJ Kinney. Kinney as the coach. And then on Saturday, with all the bowl madness going on, don't forget about the FCS game hanging around. I'll probably be able to put some bowl games on the quad box. It's Montana State versus South Dakota State. This one should be. This should be an absolute banger.
That's going to be an amazing game.
South Dakota State got beaten in Bozeman last year by Montana State in the semis. South Dakota State has the home game in the semis. I feel like they're going to be wanting revenge. Montana State does not have that cursed Bozeman home field advantage. They'll be in Brookings, South Dakota.
Probably still be a slip and slide on the sideline now.
Probably.
I kind of hope so.
You want to check the weather here? Wow. Saturday, Brookings, South Dakota.
Forecasting. We're going to have to bring back the meteorology.
Oh my God. The high on Saturday in Brookings, South Dakota is 9.
Yes.
The low is -1.
Whoa.
Oh no.
But these are two teams that are built for this weather.
16-mile-an-hour winds. So the wind chill is going to be negative. So we're praying for the reporters that are out there in Brookings. Stay warm somehow.
And I think that's all we got for this week. We will see you guys on the other side.